Hello guys and welcome to another battle report. This is 2500 points versus the vampires and I'm playing my humans, and we decided for objective, since we got this big beautiful terrain piece in the middle, we decided the objective should be holding the center objective, and we agree on normal deployment, and that's it. Let's walk through his army list. He have 2 vanguarded direwolf and a unit of zombies. Then you got a unit of skeletons with spear full command and banner of flaming, which will give him a great advantage in the building. And then a unit of 10 skirmisher ghouls. And for his other flank, he got a unit of zombies carrying the cadaver wagon and is level 4. He got the Wimp lore with a scroll. I don't know what spell he got, but most importantly got the moving spell, reroll to hit, reroll to wound, and the Curse of Years. I don't know what it's called, Steel Youth, that's a brutal spell. Then he got the unit of Wrath, which is a very cool and cheap unit. 2 direwolf unit at vanguarded. Hiding behind those knights are 2 great bats, and the knights is Vampire Knights, Banner of Speed, with his general, who is a vamp, is tough as nail. I don't know what he got, but I have no idea of taking him out. Then he got the BSP with a 4-up war, riding in Monstrous Revenant, and finally a Varkolak, and that's his army. For the Kingdom of Equitaine, I got to the left a unit of Crusaders, no upgrade on them, so they are still in light armor. I think that's a very good unit. Bullet points got clearing out chaff and have a very high damage output, even though defensively not so much, but a 3-up ward and a 5-up potentially ward save is kind of okay. A Treb, and I didn't know what to do with my final points. I write in this list the night before, and yeah, so I just throw in a expensive as shit unit of Peg Knights with all of the upgrades, just because. Then I got a unit of Yeoman Outrider, who have vanguarded up. Then I got in the back a unit of 20 Crusader. I really want to try them out to see how they work. And I got behind them a unit of Bowmen with flaming arrows and a champion. I got my 2 wizards in them, 1 level 2, Tomb of Arcane Lore, so an extra spell, a Lore of Wild, Path of Wild, and another one with just a scroll, level 2, also Path of Wild. And I don't really remember, to be honest, what I got on them. I take the signature on both of them. I have the curse, I have the spear, and something else. I don't remember what else I got. And then I got a unit of Knights Forlorn with my general in it. He got the Crusader Helm, so a 3-up armor save, ignores lethal blow, 3-up reroll I think as well, if I remember correctly, and Virtue of Audacity, so if he's facing opponent in base contact with higher than strength 4 or toughness 4, he get to reroll hit and wound, so that's kind of good because I'm facing a lot of opponents with either high toughness or high strength. Then I got a BSB, something I want to try out, riding loose on a Bard Warhorse to save points, and he got the Dragon Scale Helm just to give him a 1-up armor save. And on my final flank I got a big block of Levi with Halberdiers, and in that I got a Reliquary and also a Castellan to give them devastating charge, as well as being able to unlock the brigade unit which I have scouted on that hill, and as well as another Treb. And since I got far less drop than him, I just said screw it. I dropped all of mine after I figured I couldn't see where his important block are gonna go. So we were plus minus nil on our roll to go first, and he won that and chose to go first. So here you can see he pushes up his hound and his zombies a bit on this side. Also his skeleton goes into the central building. And on this flank he pushes up, keeping his BSB Barkalock behind, so my Peg Knights cannot really fly over his lines. And that's it for his movement. And well, he got off the movement spell, bubble version, so he pushes up his line a little bit more. Also, he gives the unit of skeleton in the building reroll to hit, which is very fatal later in my next turn. So for the Kingdom of Equitaine's first turn, I made some charges. My Knight Forlorn charges into the house, and I'm thinking of mopping up this skeleton very easily. My Peasant Levy made a pretty long charge. I think there were 12 inches. I need to roll an 8, but it will give me such an advantage position if I would make it, so I took the chance and I did make the charge, which was very appreciated. Otherwise, you can see my Peg Knights and the Crusaders have backed away from his line, and that's the movement for this flank. On this flank, my Crusader Knight unit chose not to charge his direwolf in front of them. They just stay there to protect the trap. Other news, the mounted yeoman choose to charge the direwolf because hopefully I can kill them and then overrun into his wrath, so his wrath cannot go through the house and killing a bunch of my knights, so I'm sacrificing them to keep the wrath from getting in. Actually, with my knights I wanna actually get into the house, kick those skeletons out, and then in my next turn move over to the other side of the house to get away from his blood knight. So that's basically my plan for the whole game. I will dance around the building avoiding his Wemp Knights all game if I'm lucky. And well, shooting magic didn't do anything of notice. You can see one of his great bats have lost a wound. But in combat I did manage to kill those wolves and I overrun into his wraths. Well, this was harsh. My Knight Forlorn charges into the building, and since he got the reroll to hit spell off and he had flaming attacks, he also rerolls to wound, and he managed to kill 3-4 of my knights, which is hurtful for me, but I killed a lot more than him. He crumbles and back off out of the building, so I have taken the building the first turn, and that's it. You can also see here, of course, my Peasant Levy charge and kill his dogs. We strike at the same initiative and he managed to kill a Levy, I think. And as well as the brigade actually managed to kill 3 of his dire wolves with shooting, which was kind of appreciated because now he have totally lost control of this flank. He only got a unit of zombies left to protect him. So this gives me a free way around the building with both my Levy and my knights, which I think is very good. So for the vampire second turn, I think I got off curse on his Wemp Knights. That's why he didn't charge us into my fast cab, but his BSB slams into my fast cab. And his direwolves try to charge my brigade unit, but they manage to kill them all with his standing shoot. And he sends in his skeleton again into the building, as you can see on this picture, and he pushes up his zombies a bit to slow my Peasant Levy down a bit. You can see here he moves up his Warclock out of the arc of my Crusaders. His blood Wemp Knight only moves up a bit, and his great bats actually charge the Treb. I don't think his magic did much, but in close combat, of course, I think the BSB outright kills all of my human outriders straight away. And over in this combat, we actually I lost by 1, but I stick because I passed my leadership test. I did a 1 to him, he did 1 to me. I stick, and that's really good. So that's all the combat. No, wait. We did had a horrible combat in the building, and I think he killed like 3 more of my guys. I drove them out. So that's it for his second turn. For my second turn, I take my damsels out of the bowman unit and move them away from his line. My peg knights back away as well, and the peasant levy unit charges into his zombie unit, and my knights forlorn jump out of the building on the other side of the building, which is nice. So that's it for movement. Well, here you can see the, or maybe you cannot see because of the ruin, but the Crusaders charge his direwolf right in front of them, and I will overrun because I'm frenzy, but it doesn't really matter because I will land in no man's land and he cannot countercharge with anything. And yeah, that's what happened. Because shooting didn't do anything, I overrun a bit and ended up as you can see them. And well, this unit is brutal on the charge. I kill as much of them as, so the rest of them just were remaining just crumbled to death. He killed some peasant, but that really doesn't matter for me. So that's good, and I couldn't really overrun because of my knights. Yeah, I just stand my ground. I only have one picture of his turn 3, and that's when he sends all the shit he got, the rafts, the BSB and the Blood Knight, Web Knights, into my Crusaders. And well, I survived. I have 3 dudes remaining. I think I got off, if I'm not mistaken, curse on his Blood Knights this turn as well, so they were 1- to hit, but I hold them up for 1 whole more turn. Unfortunately, his Great Bat killed my Treb in my turn, so it moves closer towards my line, and as well as his Varkolak turn around to face my Crusader Knights. And yeah, that's his turn. I think also his ghouls moves into the house. So well, that was actually unfortunately the only picture of his turn 3, but nothing more important really happened. What I do in my turn, I march my brigade unit up a bit. They are facing off towards his line to shoot down the fell, but it's the plan at least. Yeah, also my nice full-on charge his big skeleton spearman unit, and I think now that they are not in the house or within buff range of his mage, I will make short work of those skeletons. Well, as you can see here in this picture, my knights make short work of his skeleton. I don't think he killed any of mine, and I did a crap ton of wounds on him. He crumbled like 11 guys, and he will die on his turn, which is very nice, because you don't want to die or break on your turn, because then your opponent can position his unit to do a charge next. So that's it for my turn 3. And well, of course, 3 poor Crusaders couldn't hold up against that unit. They of course kill me, and now his Wemp Knight charges my bowman. I choose to flee off the board, so he would get a fail charge instead of going in and slaughtering me and make a reform. So he didn't get very far, at least, even though I throw away like 120-ish points for it. I can also say that last time my Crusaders actually run as far away through his left corner as possible to avoid the Varkolak charge as well. So this is actually how he moved this turn. And you can see, I think in Magic he pushes up his units a bit. And that's it for his turn, I think. Oh yeah, he did get off Car Steel Youth on my Peasant Levy. I had burned my scroll last turn, stopping that spell, I think. But he didn't roll so well, so I lost like a handful of guys. Nothing to cry about. I will dispel it in my turn. So for Kingdom Equitaine, this is turn 4. I back off with my whole line. I move my mage next to his BSB. Hopefully his Blood Knight will charge him and he will just flee up the board and they will get another fail charge. And I will just 5 dice the raise, what's the name, despair onto his BSB and hope for the best. Well, the Levy turns around to face his line and my Knights Forlorn charge into the building to kill off the ghouls. And that's it. And in Magic I roll a 3 on wins, so I didn't stop this spell. Unfortunately I couldn't roll that 9 that needed with 3 dice. So, but fortunately for me, my opponent rolled like shit, so he didn't kill. I think he killed even less now than before. So I lost like a couple of guys, but nothing to worry about, to be honest. Well, you can see here, even though I wiped out the ghouls in the building in the middle, I take some serious damage because ghouls have like 2 attacks and poison. So even more of my knights die, so they are below half their starting number now, only fighting ghouls and skeleton, and that's, yeah, unfortunate. And here, his ref charged my brigade unit. I choose to flee. He fails it, and that's giving me a good flank charge with my peasant levy. And his PSB charges into Treb, who missed fire last turn. That's why it's turned upside down. And that's it for charges. In Magic, he get to raise a unit of zombies in front of my knights Forlorn. And yeah, of course he killed off the Treb, and that's his turn. And now my Green Knight showed up. Actually, I had a tactic of waiting with him every turn to just throw him when I absolutely needed him. And I feel like now is a good choice to stop his Blood Knights from doing anything. But my opponent told me you have to roll every turn for ambush, and so I basically just placed him there. He would not be in the game at all. So yeah, and that's it for ambush. You learn something new every day. And if you have watched this game carefully, you will also know the other mishap in this game was to place the reliquary not in the middle, which you have to do, but in the corner of the unit. I don't think it really wouldn't matter anyway, but you should place it in the middle, by the way. And I got in a beautiful flank charge on his ref. I thought they were much more points than they actually were. I got kind of shocked when he told me, oh, they are like 200-ish points, saying what? So that's not good. This in front of his Wamp Knight were actually where I would have placed Green Knight if I could use him, but I couldn't because I did the rules wrong, of course. So now my Levy will have to face off the Wamp Knight and potentially the BSB in the last turn when he charges them. That's not too good, but hopefully I can win. I'm stubborn because of the reliquary stand. So that's it for my 5th turn. So over to Vampire's last turn. And well, his Varkolak made a pretty long charge in the back of them. His BSB failed a shorter charge into the front, and his Vampire Knight get into the front of my unit. Well, since that basically all he got his magic. He got off a lot of buffs on his Vamp Knights and stuff. And his Vampire Lord showed how tough as nail is by beating the shit out of my Castellan in a challenge. And you can see here a crap ton of peasants have died in this combat, so I don't have too many of them remaining. But my plan worked because I could hold off the Vamp Knights from scoring the objective, so the only unit he have who could take the objective was his zombies. So he thought he got it because I only had my Knights Forlorn, who was scoring unit still. But my Crusader unit march up towards close to the objective and then get joined by the BSB. So they turn into a scoring unit. So that's why I actually scored 600 extra points, 625. I think it's 25% of the game you play victory points for holding the objective with most scoring unit. Otherwise, don't really do much. My Peg Knights actually flank charge his Varkolak because it already taken 2 wounds. And my thinking here is I should kill that and score some easy points with the Peg Knights, and hopefully the Peasant Devi with their Stubborn can stick, and the Peg Knights will not be in combat because the Varkolak would be dead. As you can see here, I didn't get off any magic spells at all, unfortunately. So he beat the crap out of my Peasant Levi. The Varkolak turned around and did 3 wounds to my Peg Knights. And I didn't do anything to him, unfortunately. And that's it. We all break. My Peg Knights run away. His Varkolak didn't manage to capture them. His Blood Knights, on the other hand, did manage to break the Peasant. Leadership 7. I don't think it was rollable. It's not something you should put your trust in. And he killed them all. And that's the game, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. In the end, he actually killed 200 more points than me, but since I scored the objective, I won by 400-ish points. So that was nice. It was a really fun game, very tight actually. So I shouldn't have been so offensive with my Levi unit, but otherwise I think I played good, and of course you should know the rules with the ambush unit, but I don't play them too often, so I didn't. And the Peg Knight charge in the end was kind of stupid, but yeah, it's a funny game, it's not too serious. And that's it. If you have any comments, post them below and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Feel free to like and start subscribing if you haven't already. Have a nice one.